What is going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Hope out there is doing well. And today is going to be an audio-only episode because there's a lot of stuff going on. And this episode was supposed to come out 3 days ago, whenever the inauguration. But I kind of pushed the podcast back because I felt like maybe I would say something that I might regret because, let's face it, Wednesday was a very emotional day for everybody, and I just wanted to wait a little bit and kind of let everything simmer down. And I recorded a podcast on Wednesday night, and I didn't release it because I said a lot of things that I didn't mean, I guess. And you'll never hear that episode. It's gone. It's actually still on my phone. I recorded it on my phone and the audio was terrible, but at least with this podcast, with this microphone, you might hear the wind outside is a little bit crazy tonight, but other than that, I can go in there and edit out the noise and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's been a crazy past couple days, and I wanted to jump on here and give you my thoughts and everything going down, everything going on. Obviously, the Q people was wrong. And they're still trusting the plan. We'll see how that goes. I heard that there's something happening on March 4th. Apparently Trump is going to take Joe Biden's place on March 14th or 4th or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes down. But anyway, those people are crazy. But God bless them, though. God bless them. But no. That's one thing I won't miss about the MAGA movement, and this is going to be a thank you Trump episode, and also at the end of the show I'm going to get into some current stuff that's happening. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody out there for listening, and thank you Trump for the past 4 years, and it's going to be interesting in the next couple months. You're gonna see liberals, hardcore liberals, want Trump back, which is going to be interesting. But over the past couple of days, I've been trying to come up with this nice speech or this nice monologue or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think words can describe how good Trump was. Now, I disagreed on a lot of things. I was kind of pissed off at the pardons that he did. He didn't pardon Assange or Snowden. He pardoned 2 rappers, which I was kind of disappointed. And the whole list was like 35 or 120 people that I didn't really know who they were. I mean, there probably was a couple people on there that needed to be pardoned, and that's great that he did that. But I would have much rather had people that actually mattered. But whatever, he didn't have the balls to do that. But whatever, I'm not mad at him over that. I was Wednesday morning whenever I woke up and saw that, but at the end of the day, if you take a look at his entire presidency, he did a great job. And he put up with a lot of stuff. And, he probably will never get the respect or the recognition he deserved. And that's sad. It's really sad. And they're probably going to come after his family. I saw that, they're probably going to lock him up over the January 6th deal, which I'm so sick and tired of hearing about that, but we'll just have to see how that goes. But I just think it's crazy. It's been 4 years already, and I remember starting my account on Instagram. I went back and scrolled yesterday, and it was September 5th, 2016, I started the account, Funny Rednecks, over on Instagram. I had no idea what Politigram was, or political stuff, what I didn't really know. Like I didn't know where like I followed. I think some of the first people I followed was Keep America American, Jesse Ryan's page, and The Typical Liberal, and maybe Too Savage for Democrats was like a couple people I followed first. And then I think at the end of by the time I got into the movement, which I didn't really know I was in a movement, I didn't really know anybody. But by the time I got in there was a bunch of people. Like at the end, like the first of 2017, there was like all these people just all of a sudden just came out of nowhere and started these pages, which is great. It's fantastic. And there's some good that came out of that, and there's some bad that came out of that. But for the most part, I think it was a good movement. It was a good community. Everybody had each other's backs, even though there were some times when we disagree with each other, and that's fine. That's great. But when I started this page, I didn't know what I was doing, but I remember posting it was a George Bush meme. That's what got my account started. 2 days later, or so, on the 5th of September, started it. On the 7th of September, I posted that meme, and it took off. It went viral. Like back then, you was able to get on the Explore page. Now you can't do that. You can't do that at all, especially with a political conservative account. Like forget about it. You can't go anywhere. My 2 accounts are stuck right now, and they're just censored to the bone. They're hardcore. Like you can't even find my pages anymore. Whenever if you search it word for word, you can't even find it. Really crazy. But I remember that post. I don't know how viral it went, but I remember Jesse Ryan liked it from Keep America American. He liked that picture, and I had like maybe 50, 60 followers or something like that. And not very much, and it went viral, and I was like, maybe this is something, because like up to that point, I tried and failed with Instagram pages, and I'd never got into this for money or fame or anything like that. That's why I don't really care about showing my face. Like I started to recently, but for a long time, I was like, I like nobody wants to watch this. Like you can listen, but then I figured out like maybe it's good for YouTube to have actual video, but on this episode it's going to be audio, because I don't want to worry about the editing. It takes a long time to edit those podcasts. I don't know if people realize, but it takes like 3 or 4 hours to edit those podcasts, and then to upload, it's crazy. But I do it because it's better for YouTube. It's better to watch stuff like that. But I never got into this for. Like, I just wanted a page where I can have a community, because I was posting this type of content on my personal page, and I wanted that type of content on another page. But I started it not knowing where it would go, and then 2 days later it took off, and it was just that's how that happened. And I went through several name changes over the years. It was Funny Rednecks, and then I went and I bought another page called conservative.comedy, and that went crazy. I grew that page from like 5,000 followers to 50,000 in a matter of months, and it's still like under 50. I think it lost followers or something. I don't know. I don't know what the name of it is now. I think it's called Trump Girl or something like that. That's the name of it. But anyway, I kind of used that page, and I created original content, original memes, and I was able to grow that page through that. And that was whenever the censorship wasn't that bad, and you was able to like take your post and go viral with it. Like I remember one video had like 100,000 views. And I thought, man, this is freaking crazy. And I can't even get a video to 1,000 views now with the same size account. It's just crazy. So it just goes to show you in the past couple years, the censorship on Instagram, like with the same size account, is just so different. But yeah, and then I started the Redneck Patriot. I went through so many names, but at the end of the day, it's kind of the same mission, is to educate people and reach people and teach people about certain things and let people know about this through memes or through videos. And I really focused on video content like the past couple years, because I think, like, I like IGTV videos. I like posting that. There's only so much you can say with a tweet, but if you post the video of the story, you know, that's what I like to do anyway, is do a video of the, like I said, to post in the news story. I don't always do that, but that's what really helps your account if you're looking to grow, is post videos. But yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years. It's been a long ride, and I think, like I said, the best thing about this community is, like, everybody is kind of together. Everybody kind of has each other's back. And I, you know, when I first started, I had, like, I don't know if anybody out there remembers Instagram pages with partners. This was back in 2016, 17, 18. You had partners, so so I had partners, and that's how you grow. Like, it's like networking. You had basically follow for follow type of thing. That didn't really work, but the partners thing worked, because you pasted it in your caption. And I think Instagram kind of caught on, and it kind of slowed down post a little bit, so people stopped doing that. But I remember that. So there was different stages of politogram memes and things like that. And I can't even begin to tell you what my favorite meme over the years was. I think maybe the CNN ones are pretty good. The Trump CNN fake news memes or whatever. I'm gonna miss Trump. I mean, he's I mean, he's not dead, but he's just not there in the White House, and he's not on Twitter. He doesn't have a voice, and but you know, I think he needs a break. Maybe get off social media, go golfing for a few years or something. And he hasn't had I mean, for what I heard, he hasn't really had a vacation in 4 years. Some leftist on Twitter put on Twitter, obviously, he put on there, Joe Biden hasn't went golfing yet. And I retweeted it, and I said, yeah, but he did kill 100,000 jobs, and we'll get into that here in a second. Like, the media just crucified Trump over the past 4 years about golfing and tweeting and this and that. But at least we had, like, a pretty good economy. You know what I'm saying? Record low unemployment, like all this stuff. Until COVID hit, and then everything went south. But before then, for a good 3 years there, everything was pretty dang good when it comes to that kind of stuff. And these liberals, these people on the left, are going to find out real quick in about a couple months how good it was under Trump. You know, they can bitch and moan and say Orange Man bad and racist and dictator and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, we'll get into that here in a second. But I just want to say, I guess some of the most cringeworthy stuff in the MAGA movement was like these fake ads over the years, like these fake tweets. Like, you know what I'm talking about. That was the most cringeworthy thing of, like, the whole Instagram community. Like, you had Hillary Clinton, like, fake tweets talking about, I'm going to delete this account if you don't follow it or whatever. Like, it's just, please. That was the most stupid. And it's like, it's not the... People give the page hell for posting it, but it's actually not their fault. It's the person who bought the ad is fault. But they can kind of, like, I sold ads before, and I told people I'm not gonna post that. That's stupid. So, but that was the most cringeworthy. And you know, the right always, you know, their biggest slogan is like facts over feelings. Like Ben Shapiro is like the biggest guy in the movement, and he's like facts over feelings. Like it's like that's a famous line in like conservative world, but sometimes people on the right get things wrong, and I get things wrong all the time. But this tweet that's going around right now, Black Lives Matter, saying, let me see if I can. Well, I don't know if I can pull it up, but I saw this tweet. It's going around on Instagram right now. Black Lives Matter apparently tweeted, "I'm regretting my decision for supporting Biden." And all it takes is 5 seconds to look up their Twitter, and the tweet's not there. And everybody's posting it like it's a real tweet. Maybe it's a real tweet, I don't know. But I went to their Twitter, it's not there. So all these pages are posting it, and I totally understand when you post something like that, it goes viral on your page, and it has really good engagement on your page. So that's why these pages post that kind of stuff, right? Is with the engagement. The engagement is really high because everybody knows it's a fake tweet, but the person who posts it plays dumb. And I've been there before, right? Because there were times whenever my account was like really censored. So I was like, oh, if I post this, people will comment and it'll fix my account back to where it needs to be. And you need posts like that. But at a certain point, do I lie to my audience, or have a uncensored page with like better engagement? I don't know if that makes sense. But there was also another guy today on Twitter. He's a conservative podcaster, guy, writer. You can probably figure it out if you go to my Twitter. I tweeted at him, and I said, this is not a real thing on Facebook. Apparently, this guy is claiming that the Lord's Prayer is fact-checked on Facebook. And all you have to do is go to Facebook, type in the Lord's Prayer. None of the posts of the Lord's Prayer is fact-checked. So I understand conservatives are censored, but when you post stupid claims like that, it doesn't help our cause. Whenever people are actually deleted or censored, or today John Rich was unverified because he's a conservative, and I think I just saw he is verified again. They probably threatened to sue Twitter or something like that if they didn't. But because he's a conservative, he was unverified for some reason. And they did the same thing with PewDiePie a couple years ago. I remember that because he had some stuff going on. But all because of his political views, all because of what he believes, they unverified him. And that's real. That really happened. But when you post stupid stuff like that, like a fake joke, like somebody posted an ad the other day, and it was a fake Joe Biden tweet. He didn't say that. So and I totally understand. Like I said, it boosts engagement. It gets people commenting, and when it's an advertisement for something, that's like a smart thing to do because you want to boost the ad to be seen by everybody that is following you. I totally understand. But at the same time, there's other ways to advertise that gets the same reaction. So that's one thing I won't miss, but it's going to keep on happening in the conservative movement. And now they can't sell Trump flags anymore, so now they're selling Joe Biden's I saw an ad today for a Joe Biden flag. Like, oh, what are you going to make him free and then charge $30 shipping? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it literally says Joe Biden sucks on the flag. So, anyway, I'm not going to do that, but you can go over to my store. I guess this is the perfect time to do an ad break, but you can go over to my store. I got some t-shirts if you want. Coffee, if you want some coffee, 76 Coffee. I'm kind of mad at Shopify right now. They may delete my store because I had to call them about my store. I was having problems. Actually, I was having problems with my other store that I had. Like, I closed my store down. Get this, I closed my store down, and they kept on charging me for the fee as if it was open. So I called them, and they said, we can't refund you or whatever. And I was like, that's BS. That's BS. So I'm going to keep on calling them until they do, because that's BS. I haven't even used the store in like almost a year, and they charge me. So it's just $30, but still, I didn't sign up for that. I didn't pay that. So, but anyway, go over there to Okie76, OkiePatriot76.com. Pick you up a shirt or a bag of coffee or a coffee cup. We got some hoodies. Hoodies are still available if you want a hoodie. It's getting cold out there, so it's pretty cold here in Oklahoma right now. So, but yeah, thank you to Trump for the past 4 years, and it's just almost just emotional to kind of go through this week, I guess, and I hit me harder than I thought it would, but I said on the podcast before that, Joe Biden's not going to be that bad. I was wrong. I mean, he's done so much damage in like 4 days. 4 days. It's just crazy, dude. It's just crazy. And also another thing I won't miss is QAnon. I know I mentioned it earlier, but these Q-tard people, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you guys need to stop. Like, if you're still trusting the plan, and like that was another thing on January 20th, all these Q people came out and said, I was an idiot for believing that. And look, if you believe that, like, I totally understand. Like, you don't, like, I totally understand. Like you don't want to believe what's happening in reality, so you subscribe to this other thing that is safe, right? Because I totally understand, but at the end of the day, reality, whether if it sucks or whatever, it's still reality, and sometimes you need to face that. And so I got a lot of flack for saying that Joe Biden's gonna be the next president 2 months ago. I was saying that back in the end of November. So, and I got so much heat for that. And I wanted to be wrong so bad. But when you have an audience, and this is my like another problem with the MAGA people, they led people on for months claiming that Trump was going to win. Because you know why? It brought viewers to their page, to their channel, to their podcast. They gained subscribers. They made all this money in ad revenue and all this kind of stuff. Good for them. There's this channel. I don't know if you're familiar with Simon Parks. I don't really know. I never watched his videos, but I heard a lot about him in the past couple of days. And he's this big Q guy, and he was leading people on for months. Said, Trump has a plan. He's going to do this. And then I heard that he did an interview a couple years ago that he was adopted by aliens or some crap like that. If you're listening to a guy that claims he was that his mother was an alien or something like that, then I don't feel sorry for you if you're disappointed on January 20th. Like, I have an oceanfront property in Arizona I can sell you. I'm sorry. And all these people, these QAnon people were crying and stuff like that on January 20th. I was too. I was kind of upset too. It was very emotional day. It took me back to whenever I lost my grandpa a few months ago, and I just got over that, and then this happened. I was like, oh man, this sucks. So, but we'll get through this. It's not the end of the world yet. Joe Biden still has a week to go to write that policy, but I mean, he's got 30 EOs, according to CNN. 30 EOs. Crazy. And a lot of them are overturning Trump's executive orders, which that's great. It's fantastic. That's just what we needed. But yeah, that's one thing I won't miss is these QAnon people. But like I said, I totally understand. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm mad at these influencers that went along with it. That's what I'm mad at. These YouTube channels, these Instagram influencers who fed you these lies for 2 months and led you to believe that Trump has this plan to get us out of this mess. And in reality, I don't know how to put it in a parable form or analogy, but it's almost like your house is on fire and nobody was really doing anything to get people out of the house that was on fire. It was like, oh, we need to stay in the house. Trump has a plan. No, we need to move on and get out of here and move somewhere else. Trump is probably not going to be able to run in 2024, so we need to be looking forward to the future. And unfortunately, people like Ted Cruz, they're probably going to, run his life next. I would vote for Ted Cruz. In a heartbeat. Totally. I voted for him in 2016 before Trump. But, I mean, he's a great dude. He's a great guy. But unfortunately, he's probably going to get run from everything that happened. But yeah, we got 4 days into Biden's... Well, I mean, not even 4. 3 days, 2 days. Yeah, 3 days, almost 4 days here, and he took a lid today. I saw a tweet earlier, Saturday morning, they took a lid. Oh my God, this is going to be a long 4 years. I mean, I don't think Trump took a vacation, let alone, he slept in for the first time on Thursday in 4 years, according to what I've heard. So, and he went golfing, and he's gonna enjoy his time. He deserves it. And he didn't need to do that. He didn't need to run for president. He already had this great life and all this kind of stuff. And that's back to Trump for a second. My favorite thing about Trump is that he couldn't be controlled. Unlike Joe Biden. Joe Biden's executive orders does nothing for the working man, but has everything to do with benefiting pharmaceutical companies. He reversed the insulin ban thing, or the insulin thing, where it would lower the insulin prices. And whenever Trump did that, and I can't remember if it was before the election or after the election. I want to say it was after the election that he did that. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, he did that, and all these people came out and said, now I can afford other things, because whenever, a lot of these people are on a fixed income, and the average Joe can't afford a $400, $1,000 prescription. It's just crazy. But Joe Biden doesn't give a damn about the working man or woman. He worries about the pharmaceutical companies, and that the pharmaceutical companies are lining his pockets because he's wanting to please. Why? This shouldn't be a political issue. In America, you shouldn't be charged that much for insulin. Like, you shouldn't be charged. I mean, it's just crazy. The prices. I mean, like, I think, what was it, Florida? Florida was getting their stuff from Canada because it was cheaper to go to Canada to get it than to get it from the... It's just crazy. It's just crazy, dude. But he reversed that. He also killed like 100,000, 200,000 jobs in his first couple days with the oil and gas industry. The Keystone Pipeline, which, by the way, the Keystone Pipeline is already existing. It goes from Alberta over, and then it goes down to North Dakota, and then down to, South Dakota. No, North Dakota, and then down into Texas, down into Houston. The pipeline, I visited the pipeline here in Oklahoma, Cushing, Oklahoma. It's pretty cool, dude. It's like a huge freaking pipe coming out of the ground, and it meets in the middle. But it's in Cushing, and it goes right through there, and it goes down to Houston. But what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to take the pipeline from Alberta and then connect it to go through Montana, go down to Montana, and they connect it in Nebraska, I believe. I want to say it's Nebraska somewhere. So that's what they're wanting. So they're already a pipeline, but this is like an XL, baby, like a little arm, little elbow type thing to connect it up into Alberta. But they didn't want to do that. Joe Biden killed like 11,000 jobs with that deal. And then now he's banning drilling, new leases on federal land, which there was a guy from Texas. They came out and said, if this is permanent, Joe Biden just killed 120,000 jobs. And then New Mexico is coming out and saying, we can't believe that Joe Biden did this. But like, Biden won New Mexico. You voted for this idiot, so you get the consequences. I'm sorry. All these people are coming out. I think it's funnier than hell. And I'm sorry, I don't want people to lose their jobs. It's terrible. But these people coming out voted for this idiot, and they're coming out and they're going, I just lost my job because of Biden's executive orders. I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. Like, I don't. Because all the people on the right were warning the people on the left and warning people not to vote for this guy. And now they're like, oh, I lost my job. Because these people on the left, they don't watch the news. They don't do any kind of research. They don't do any research on Biden if he said this or that. I mean, to be fair, he kind of flip-flopped a little bit, and it was kind of confusing there for a little bit, especially on the fracking. Is he going to ban it? Is he not going to? But yeah, he wants to ban fracking. He's going to do that. And to be fair, Biden is fulfilling his promises. I mean, I guess I can't hate on the guy too much because he is doing what he said he would do. So it's just not really a good thing for America. It's just not really a good thing for America. It's not. It's not. It's putting China, it's putting these other countries first. Syria, we're already in wars right now. It's just not even a good deal, man. It's not even a good thing. So he's these people are coming out, and it was just right after the election, that doctor from New York came out and said, if I would have known he was pro-lockdown, I wouldn't have voted for him. Now, all these months later, people are waking up to the fact that Biden is not who they voted for. And it's funny, because they can talk all this talk on the campaign trail or from his basement or whatever, but once he's in office, he's like, we're going to do what we want to do. So, yeah, he's killing all these jobs, he's doing all this stuff, and, it's sad. I don't want people to lose their job, but it's just you kind of deserve it whenever you voted for this guy. And it's just oh, well, it's not Orange Man, it's not Trump, it's not the evil Hitler, but then they realize, oh, well, I just lost my job because of Biden. Imagine voting for this guy and being oh, I just lost my job because of him. Like, they think he's going to be this great guy, and then, no. There was this person on Twitter that got so much backlash. She's, let me see if I can, let me see if I can find this tweet. I can't find this tweet, but this woman was working in the oil and gas industry, and she said, I voted for Biden. Where was that tweet at? I know I screenshotted it. Anyway, this woman voted for Biden, and she said, I didn't know that he was going to do this, and I just lost my job. So anyway, I mean, that's kind of the common theme of everything. So, and of course he's raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and we all know that is going to be a huge blow to small businesses everywhere. I think I saw where it's going to be estimated like 3.7 million jobs lost because of that thing. But then they come out and say, it's going to actually gain more. Like, you're going to gain more jobs. What's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of these employers put everybody on part-time. They're like, oh, well, we can pay you $15 an hour, but you can work 20 hours instead of 40. And then you're probably going to lose your insurance and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have a lot more part-time workers doing all these different jobs instead of, But anyway, or you might just lose your job altogether, or the business might just close down. So he's first 4 days he killed millions and millions of jobs. Potentially. If the $15 an hour goes through, and these pipeline deals and these drilling, if he bans fracking, oh my God, it's just like crazy. Like, he's losing, like, I don't know how many millions of jobs there. Of course, he's already breaking his executive orders. We had Biden the other day go out to the Lincoln Memorial. I don't know if you saw this. You probably saw it, but he wasn't wearing a mask. So after he told, 360 plus million people to wear a mask, he didn't even wear a mask on federal property. According to his rules, he should be wearing a mask to bed. Because he's on federal property. He's at the White House, right? So he should be wearing a mask at all times. Eating breakfast, all this stuff. If he wants people to wear it, he needs to be following his own rules. So you had Meghan McCain, which I can't stand The View. I don't even watch the show. Not my thing. But I happened to catch this clip. I posted on Instagram, and I guess I can play it. Let me play this clip right quick.
Going to know exactly how many people died because of the last administration's failed policies. Do you think we'll ever find that out, Megan?
Look, I think the great horror of living in America right now is the absolute, complete, and total breakdown of trust in our institutions. And since everyone has gone after the Trump administration, I think that it is okay to hold the feet to the fire for Dr. Fauci as well. I remember being told, and I too would like to be treated like an adult, Sarah, that masks don't work and to throw them away. I was pregnant in New York City when the pandemic broke out. I had a bunch of masks and I ended up giving them away because they said it doesn't do anything and you don't need it. Just say to me, first responders need them more than average Americans. Please donate them for the good of your heart. I would have done the same thing, but I was lied to. We have President Biden yesterday, him and his family, they're not wearing masks after mandating and requiring people to wear masks on federal property. He and his family were not wearing masks out. So again, I think the rules for thee, but not for me, that have been going on for a long time in the Trump administration, and now you're seeing with President Biden. I was really disappointed he wasn't wearing a mask. And I would also like to say, Amazon, I don't really understand why you're now offering offering the Biden administration help with COVID vaccines after months of complete silence from Trump, because that seems political as well. So why does Jeff Bezos now all of a sudden want to help with vaccine distribution, but he didn't during the Trump administration? There's a lot of blame to go around everywhere. Yes, President Trump was, integral in spreading false information, but I'm not about to give Dr. Fauci a Profile and Courage Award this morning.
Okay, Dr. Fauci was outside.
So yeah, I'm really kind of proud of the media, some members of the media holding the Biden admin to the same standard. I mean, they probably never will be as intense with their attacks, but the guy from Fox News the other day said, why didn't Joe Biden wear a mask after he signed this executive order? And the excuse that they gave was like, well, it was a special day and he had bigger things to do. Like better things to do than wear a mask. Well, you know what? I have better things to do than wear a mask, so I'm not going to wear one. So, how's that? And it's just on federal property. Like, he can't enforce, like he wanted to enforce everybody wear a mask all across the land, and this is not going to happen. And now they're wanting, this news, I think CBS or ABC or something like that came out and said, you need to be wearing 2 masks. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, here it is.
With COVID cases soaring, experts warn it's time to double down, as in time to start wearing a double mask. President-elect Joe Biden does it. Mitt Romney double masked during the Capitol insurrection. Tom Cruise also double masks.
It essentially blocks between 90 and 95% of all viral particles.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Monica Gandhi shows us the simple steps you can take.
Actually putting the cloth mask first and then putting the surgical mask on top of it. All the electrostatic repulsion from here, and then like different fibers going different ways, you've just made this an N95 right here.
So they want to be wearing 2 masks. In 2 months, they'll be like, oh, you need to wear 4 masks, 5 masks. Just why not 6 masks? Like, it's gonna be it's just gonna be like, why don't you just like suffocate yourself and die? You know, I mean, I've never worn a mask. I have a mask from almost a year ago. Last March, someone gave me a mask. It's still in my truck in the cup holder, just in case I happen to need one for some reason. But I went into Walmart the other day. It was just fine with that one. So, I mean, why bother? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get a lot of weird looks, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? And I hate shopping at Walmart, but I happen to go there. Like, I really needed something from Walmart there the other day. But yeah, it's getting crazy. Who cares if all these jobs are getting lost? Transgenders can use the bathroom with the girls now. Like, guys can use the same bathroom as the girls. So that's good. At least that is a priority for the Biden administration. He's trying to, appeal to the left. And, that's another thing. Like, people probably voted for Biden for that reason and probably the mask reason. It's all about virtue signaling. They probably couldn't even tell you what his policies are. But they're like, oh, he wears a mask and Trump doesn't, so I'm going to vote for him. Like, that's just so stupid. So freaking stupid. But I'm kind of surprised that the media is questioning these things. Like, on Thursday's press conference I watched earlier, and by the way, this Jen Psaki lady or whatever the hell her name is, what's up with her? Like, she seems so unprepared for, like, she seems like she just got news that she got the job, like, on Wednesday morning. Like, she's like, and look, I have speech problems too, but I'm not on national television doing my deal, right? I'm just a guy with an internet show, and some people listen, and that's great. I appreciate everybody out there for listening, but I'm not on national. But oh, by the way, I totally forgot. Did you see the dislike thing with the White House YouTube? Dude, the inauguration is up to 45,000 dislikes, and it's unlisted. But I have the video. If you want to see the video, I'll send it to you on Instagram. Message me on Instagram. I'll send you the link. I had to dig to find that link because they unpublished the video. They put it on unlisted, but I had to find it on Twitter. But yeah, they didn't want that out, man. But it's 45,000 dislikes. The most popular president in history has some problems getting some popularity. Like, it's crazy. But every video on the White House YouTube channel nuked with dislikes. It's so funny. But this lady, Jen Psaki, or whatever her name is, she seems very, like, unprepared, doesn't really know what's going on. Her entire answer was like, well, we'll just have to get back with you. And then she said several times the other day, talking about, well, Biden wants to work with everybody. He wants to work with Republicans and Democrats and even people in red states. She made a big deal about that. And a lot of reporters were asking her about, people don't feel Joe Biden's sense of unity. Like, Joe Biden doesn't want to be unified. He just says that. And so I really am surprised that the media is asking these questions about, regular people don't feel the same unity. Like, people don't really get what he's doing. And even Biden supporters are turning their back on Biden with this economy, with their job situation. Like I said, it's not funny, but they had it coming to them. You know what I'm saying? They voted for the guy. They have to face the consequences. And this is kind of how it is. And even somebody asked Jen Psaki about the Keystone Pipeline, and she said, well, they can just find another job. What? Find another job when the economy is already, like, people are already, struggling as it is? Do you know how hard it is to find another job in that field? I mean, those are not minimum wage jobs. Those are 50 plus per hour jobs. Some of them. They're not like a McDonald's, Burger King wages. And so, I mean, it's bad. And a lot of these are getting, like, a lot of these people who work in the oil and gas industry, I saw several people say that, oh, I just got my hours cut back from 70 to 35. Like, imagine getting that news. I mean, I guess it's better than no work at all. But it's just like, dang, that's just so freaking wild in 4 days. So I was right on the Trump thing. And I was also right. And before I get into the story, I forgot to mention that on this podcast, whenever I was doing the best of episodes, the best of 2020 episodes, I remember in one episode, and this was me, like, up late editing, so I don't remember, like, what month it was I said this on the podcast, but you can listen to one of those best of episodes on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play and SoundCloud. But I said, I have a feeling Trump's going to lose. And I just, like, I remember me hearing that while I was editing, and I kept that in there, because at that point I was like, yeah, that's it. But yeah, I was right on a lot of things, unfortunately, but also I was right on this story too. A GOP lawmaker from Ohio, and he's a Republican, Steve Shivers. He suggested this week that people should be forced to get the vaccine if they want the stimulus check. And I said that back in December. I said that. That's probably the next thing they're going to do is, hey, if you want the stimulus check, which it's not going to be $2,000 like Joe Biden promised. People are already pissed off about that. They're like, Joe Biden, he promised that, like, on day one, we're going to get these stimulus checks out there. Now it's going to be months. It's probably going to be like April or March or something like that. It's probably going to do the same thing. I mean, hope not, because people are going to need it. But I think people would rather have a job than a stimulus check, but whatever. But yeah, like, he's already breaking that promise. But this is what he said. I hope the administration will look at this option because we actually buy something with our $1,400. and that's herd immunity. So, they're wanting to do that. They're wanting to make people get. I mean, it's not official yet, but it's probably going to be pushing that way. And I was really surprised this week. I don't know if you saw Bill Gates got the vaccine. Who knows if Bill Gates actually got the vaccine, but I don't know. And this New York Post article that came out recently, 2 hours ago, mass COVID-19 vaccinations needed to reach herd immunity. So they're wanting people to get these vaccines for some reason. And, that's another thing. Like, the Biden administration is taking credit for Trump stuff. It's so freaking, and I don't agree with the vaccine at all, but it's just like they're trying to take credit for what he did, and love or hate the vaccine, they rolled that out in record time. It may be dangerous. A lot of people are dying from it, but or I don't want to say dying from it, but I want to say that they took the vaccine and then a couple weeks later they died. So I don't know about the cause of death on that one, but it's kind of weird that that's kind of the timeline of events. But I don't know if you noticed, COVID kind of disappeared. All these cities are opening up their restaurants. Everybody's kind of going back to normal. The COVID tracker on CNN is gone. And now, instead of blaming COVID for the cause of death with these celebrities, I don't know if you noticed, but Hank Aaron, rest in peace, Hank Aaron and Larry King, they passed away recently, and they're when you Google their name, it doesn't say that they died from COVID in the headline. It said they died at 86 or whatever. So, but whenever Herman Cain died, they made a big deal about that because he was a conservative and all that kind of stuff. It even, one article I pulled up, it said Trump killed Herman Cain. And then the other headline was he died from COVID. But they're taking that away since Biden is in office. They're taking that away from these headlines like it never did existed. But when you dig deep in the article, you find out that Larry King was hospitalized or was in the hospital for COVID complications, and it's a bad deal. It's, at 86 or 89 or whatever it was. It's a bad deal. It's a real thing for people that age. It's a really bad deal. I'm not saying it's a fake disease or a hoax. It's a real deal whenever you're that age. But I mean, Larry King lived forever. I didn't even think he would die, to be honest. He just kept on living and living. Good for him. But it's, you have to go sometime. But wow. And Hank Aaron took the vaccine on January 5th. Because to get black people to take the vaccine, they really want black people to take this vaccine for some reason. I don't know. But then he died a couple weeks later. And look, he was 85 or whatever it was. He was in his 80s. And whenever you're at that age, you can go at any minute. But it's kind of weird that he took the vaccine 3 weeks ago, and now he's dead. So... But they're not going to talk about that. They're not going to do that. It's just it's going to be an interesting 4 years. It's going to be a very interesting couple of years. And Joe Biden is calling for unity, and I think the real unity is with these Bernie Sanders memes. I don't know if you saw these. They're everywhere, and I put up a best of episode on my Instagram if you want to go check that out at Okie Patriot 76. I would post it on YouTube, but I can't because of copyright. Somebody might take it down or something, force me to take it down and sue me. That's what happened before, a couple years ago. I had that happen, so I don't want this to happen on this new channel. But if you go over to my Instagram at Okie Patriot 76 or go to my 76 social. Also, sorry for not posting as much on 76 social, but I appreciate everybody for joining and donating and all that kind of stuff. This next week, I'm going to ramp up what I was. I'm going to be posting more content over there. But this week, I just kind of took a break from that because it was a really bad week. But anyway, I think I got to everything. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Joe Biden, there's this video out of him signing an executive order. He's like, I don't know what I'm signing. Listen. I don't know if you heard that or not, but you can go to my Instagram and check it out. It's all over the internet. You've probably seen it. But if you turn up the volume really loud, maybe put on some headphones, maybe listen real close. He says, I don't know what I'm signing. He doesn't know what's going on. And it's really clear that he doesn't really have a big plan for COVID other than just wear a mask. That's his answer for everything. It's like moms with Pepto-Bismol. Just get some Pepto-Bismol. That's his answer for everything. Just wear a mask. Come on, man. But I think it's kind of interesting that he doesn't really have a plan for COVID right now, other than just wear a mask, like I said. But back in October, this is a real tweet from Joe Biden. We're 8 months into a pandemic, and Donald Trump still hasn't had a plan to get this virus under control. This is Joe Biden on January the 22nd during his press conference. There's nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next couple months. That's an actual quote from Joe Biden. You can look it up. It's on video of him saying it. So, he's criticizing Trump for not having a plan and not doing this. But Trump actually did something about it. Like it or not, he did, get a vaccine out, and he was able to do the best he can. But Biden has no real plan at all. And he's basically taking credit for what Trump did. And also, I totally forgot about this guardsman situation. And imagine if Donald Trump did this to our troops, they would light a fire under his ass so hot it would burn him for weeks. But since Joe Biden did this, or since I don't know if technically he did it, but it happened while he was president, so he should get the blame. That's kind of how it happened with Trump. It doesn't really matter, and I love how these people on the right, they're like, oh, well, 10,000 people died from COVID since he got elected. It's Biden's fault now. But that's not how that works anymore. Like I said, they took the COVID tracker. It's all over. And one thing I figured out is that if the left is guilty of something, they blame the right. So that's why they made a big deal about that suckers and losers deal with Trump. That's why it was trending for weeks or whatever. Like, literally, it was trending on Twitter for days and days and days, that suckers and losers deal. I mean, it was on there forever. But then there's no real evidence that Trump actually said that. But then we had a video of Biden saying, clap for that, you stupid bastards. And the media ignored it like the plague. Like, they didn't even touch it. But they spent so much time on Trump. So, Joe Biden sent this tweet out. I don't have a date on this, but this is whenever he was doing an interview on some show. And this is a quote from his Twitter. As president, I would never send an American soldier anywhere in the world without equipment and protection they need. We should not do any less for the heroes on the front lines of the battle we're in right now. And then, a couple days later, or not a couple days later, but fast forward to a couple days ago, the guardsmen were forced to vacate the Capitol. And I don't understand why they're still there. Hats off to Florida and Texas for sending them home. Because it's over. But to be honest, they're probably used to sleeping in worse places. But it doesn't really make sense if they're welcome in the Capitol to sleep in their Capitol, like in the Capitol building. What's the big deal if they slept there? like the next day after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I don't understand why they're still there, but whatever. They're going to be there for the next 30 days or something like that. And then Jill Biden, not Joe, Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, which we can argue that doctor part, but whatever, Dr. Jill Biden came out and gave the troops the next day cookies. And then I saw a tweet from this leftist media outlet. They're like, oh, conservatives are pissed off that Jill Biden gave troops cookies. No, I could care less about the cookies part. I'm just pissed off that Biden didn't even acknowledge it or didn't even recognize that was going on. We still haven't heard from them on that. It's been 2 days, 3 days. So I'm not pissed off about the cookies part. That was a nice gesture, but it's almost like, and I put on Twitter, and that video went viral on my page, and the caption said, basically, Jill Biden is saying, we're sorry we don't give a shit about you, but here's some chocolate chip cookies. So, so I'm not mad about the cookies part. It's just they didn't do anything about it to fix the issue, or not even to prevent that issue of happening. So, and I don't know why they got kicked out. I heard it was over a mask or something like that. One of the guards weren't wearing a mask. I don't know if that's true, but hats off to Trump for taking care of our troops in at the hotel, the Trump Hotel. And so, also this week, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or whatever her name is, filed impeachment for Joe Biden. And, at first I thought, man, that's going to be terrible. I don't want that to happen. But after seeing what he's done over the past couple of days, I support it 100%. And I want the same treatment for Joe Biden as they treated Trump. Nothing less. And all these Trump supporters out there, I want you to treat Joe Biden like they treated Trump, and nothing less. And I was against this idea of not my president, but after experiencing President Biden for the past 4 days, I kind of support it. Now, as an American, he is my president, and I respect that to a certain point. But at the end of the day, this guardsman deal, so treating our troops like that, it's not a political issue. It shouldn't be a left or right issue. When you do crap like that, and you blame Trump for apparently saying suckers and losers and making a big deal about that, he made a big deal about that for months on end. The mainstream media wore out that rag until it was basically threads. They took that to unbelievable places. They wore out that story so much. But if they're going to make fun of Trump and criticize Trump on that, and then Biden is claiming to respect the military, and then he does this and he doesn't even correct it. He doesn't even come out and say, oh, we're sorry. So, but anyway, it's going to be a fun 4 years. Pray for this country. Pray for America. It's going to be a crazy ride. And I'm looking on Twitter. I have all these things that I saved on Twitter to talk about. I guess we can get into this last clip here. Let me see if I can find it here. Of what's his name talking about Trump inciting something. What's that? Where's that clip at? I don't know, but you get the point. It was, oh yeah, here it is.
Make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States. Now,
What an idiot. I mean, seriously. I mean, at least he corrected himself. Like Joe Biden just goes right over. Like, he makes a big, huge mistake. Like, 200 million died from COVID. He brushes right over it, you know? So, I mean, the best part about a Biden presidency is there's going to be a lot of good, funny moments come out of it, but it's kind of sad that he's our president. So, but good news, I saw where, like, all these Antifa accounts, here it is, Andy No tweeted about it. All these Antifa Twitter accounts got banned, and all these, like, people from the Middle East, their Twitter account got banned. I think it's funny. Now, I'm not against censorship. I want everybody to have a voice, but you know, apparently they broke Twitter guidelines, and I want the censorship to be fair, right? Like I understand there's rules, and if you break the rules, there's consequences. But there for a long time, it was only conservative accounts getting banned, and these liberal accounts. Like I saw this article. There's a lawsuit. President Trump's tweets. It says here, breaking. President Trump's tweets didn't violate Twitter's policies. The company decided to censor him anyway. On the other hand, child porn doesn't violate Twitter's policies either. But for the same reason, the company won't censor it. So, in other words, Twitter will allow child porn on their platform and regular porn. Somebody retweeted, I don't know how in the hell I followed this account. I looked on their account and it was like a political, or I guess they got hacked or something. I don't know. I didn't follow that. But it popped up on my news feed and I blocked that guy. I was like, I ain't watching that. But I was scrolling. I was like, what the hell? And but this is allowed on this platform. What the president isn't allowed. So it's interesting. But back to Antifa, a lot of Trump supporters think that Antifa was Biden supporters, but in reality they weren't. They were against Biden just like we were. And so a lot of people were confused the other day whenever Antifa was protesting Biden's inauguration. A lot of people on the right were confused. And I just thought this was common knowledge. I just thought that people knew this. But these people don't support Biden either. They don't support any authority. They want to be in charge, basically. That's like from my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but they don't support Trump. They don't support Biden. They just want to be in control. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's one of my problems with like the right wing media is that they spread this false information that Antifa and BLM is Biden supporters and they voted for Biden. Maybe they did. Some of them did, probably. I don't know. But for the most part, like they went out and protested Biden's inauguration, and they damaged the Democratic building, the office for the campaign deal in Oregon. Yeah, I think in Oregon, or maybe Washington. But I think it was in Oregon. But they said they wrote F Biden on the side of the wall, and they're breaking windows and all that kind of stuff. And if you haven't seen the video, you can go over to my Instagram, OKPatriot76, and watch it on my IGTV, or you can type in on Twitter and Andy No or BG on the Scene. All those are great accounts to be following. But I think that's about it, man. Censorship is on the rise, and if you want a new place to post content that you don't have to worry about getting banned, you can head over to 76social.net and make an account, sign up. It's free to sign up. If you want to make an account, that's my new social media platform. And sorry for not posting there. And I was kind of busy this week, and I don't know. I'm still trying to get that platform started, and I really didn't make the platform for me, and it feels like I'm the only one posting there. So I want people to post stuff on there, and I don't want to just be me on the feed. But anyway, I know I said I didn't want to play that podcast from the other day, but I think I will. It's a 26-minute long video or audio clip, and I recorded it on the night of the 20th, and I talked about the inauguration, how it felt that day, and there was nothing bad on that podcast. I just didn't feel like it was a very good audio quality. But I'm gonna kind of edit the audio a little bit and see if I can make it sound better. But anyway, that's the podcast for today. Have a great Sunday. God bless. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And this is not going to be very long, but I wanted to make this podcast talking about the events of today. What happened today with the inauguration, and just want to get some things off my chest. So this podcast is going to be audio only, and I can't get Rumble to upload my videos, so I guess Rumble is out. That's kind of disappointing because I really wanted a YouTube alternative. I started to make a YouTube alternative. It didn't really work out just because it's just so expensive to run that website that I started. It's still up, ok76media.com, but in February, it's probably not going to be there. So, but I really wanted I really wanted a free YouTube alternative with Rumble, and they keep on rejecting my videos. The last podcast I tried to upload, they said error, and I tried to upload it like 6 times after that. And so, but obviously today was the inauguration, and Trump is in Florida, and it kind of hit me harder than I thought it would. And it's almost like I haven't really felt this way since my grandpa passed away a few months back. And for about a couple weeks there, I was just like feeling pretty rough. And today, you know, I never was in the MAGA movement that deep. And I always tried to not be a loyalist, because I think that's dangerous. I'm not loyal to any politician, or, I mean, you know, Trump was great. He did a lot of great things, but at the end of the day, he's human. And I think that the Constitution, you should put that above any person, any president. And so, but it's still hard losing somebody like Trump, because I know that he will never be able to run again, and there probably is never going to be a Trump again, ever, a Trump type person, a outsider from Washington. There'll probably be another Republican, but it'll probably be like a rhino. But we'll just have to see in the future. But I wanted to take this moment and just kindly say I was right. And I watched this live stream with John Burke, and I was so mad I didn't get to watch all of it because I had to do stuff. But he was basically talking tonight about all of these MAGA influencers lying to their fan base about the election. And, you know, I don't want to talk bad about any of these people in the MAGA movement, because some of these people are really great people. But I'll just tell you this. They're not who you think you are, like they are. And, you know, some of them are great, some of them are fantastic. But I don't want to name any names, but, you know, some of these people are not who you think they are. So, and I think that did a really cringe job lying to the public for 3 months about the election. And it wasn't easy for me to come out and say Trump's going to lose, but I had to do it because I always value the truth. Just like Joe Biden says, truth over facts, or whatever the hell he says, you know. But it wasn't easy for me to come out and say that these people are wrong and nothing's going to come out of it. And for a minute, I believed all this Q stuff. For a long, long time, I was like, for about a month, I was like, maybe they're right. Let's just trust the plan. And then I saw on today on Twitter that a lot of these Q people are basically coming out and going, we really never believed it anyway. So, I mean, it's just a conspiracy deal. So, and one of the top Q people basically gave up today. Like, he's like, I can't do it. And so if you're in that movement and you feel let down today, you're not the only one. I feel let down from Trump because he didn't pardon Assange and Snowden. That was the last thing he could have done to say that he valued free speech. But no, he didn't have the balls to do that. And I'll tell you right now, it might piss a lot of people off, I don't care. If Trump does run again in 2024, I probably won't vote for him, just to be honest with you. Because the past 4 years, 90% of it has been positive. And I've always looked at Trump as like, I feel sorry for the guy. Because nobody really reports on him fairly. He will never, ever, ever get the respect he deserves. He did a lot of great things that nobody's ever done in the history of this country. And nobody is going to even bother. I mean, Joe Biden is already erasing everything that he's done in a matter of weeks, days. I mean, just today he's done a lot of stuff. I'm looking at this pipeline deal, the Keystone Pipeline. That's one of the things he did today. And I saw a tweet from a guy who lives in Alberta, Canada, or outside of Alberta, or somewhere in Alberta. And this little town was banking on that pipeline coming through, and they're devastated. And then now here's the governor of Montana is pleading Joe Biden to rescind his decision, or reconsider his decision to halt the construction. You know, coming from an oil field family, most of my family, they make a living off of that. And I live in a town that is based off of that. It's pretty much either that or that's pretty much the only jobs around here, basically. But in the past year, I've seen this town like dry up because of COVID, because everything happened, and this is going to destroy the oil and gas industry. And you think about thousands and thousands of jobs, hundreds and hundreds of jobs destroyed. They were banking on this. I mean, it's just crazy. And now he wants to do a mask mandate. You know, he can take that mask and shove it up his ass. Okay? I'm sorry. Not wearing it. Now, good thing about it, there's not a lot he can do. It's only federal property. So I'm not going to go to federal property anytime soon. And it's only just a few places. And there's not a lot he can do legally, so that's good. He also rejoined the Paris Climate Accord and repeals the Muslim ban. Which, whatever. You know, a lot of these people on the right are wanting Biden to fail. And I understand their point, because for the past 4 years, that's what the left did. And the left said, not my president, I hope he, fails, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Joe Biden is your president now. Whether you like that or not, we're going to have to deal with it. And we're going to have to move on from here. And I know that there's some cute people out there. There was a guy in my comments, or in my DMs, telling me that Trump can still win. And I said, dude, it's over. Just give it up already, please. These cute people are out of their mind. And what makes me pissed off more is that these influencers went along with it. And like I said, for about a month there, I believed what Sidney Powell said, and Rudy Giuliani, and all these people, and like the Dominion stuff, and I'm not saying Joe Biden won fairly. I'm not saying that at all. Any idiot, it is. You don't have to have a rocket science degree or whatever. You have to be a rocket scientist to see that Trump got screwed over in this deal. I mean, if you look at the crowd size, there was nobody there today. And I forgot to mention this, maybe I did already. But they pulled the inauguration off of the White House YouTube channel. They put it on unlisted, the video on unlisted, because it had like 13,000 dislikes. The most popular president in American history, people don't like him. There was that video of all the soldiers turning their back on him as he was driving by. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe it was just it just happened to happen that way. I don't know, but it was going viral today. But the inauguration was depressing. It felt like a funeral. You had Garth Brooks singing Amazing Grace, which I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But I don't agree with Joe Biden. I don't agree with anything he is going to do. But I wish him well. And if you have a problem, some people out there have a problem with me saying that I wish Biden well. I mean, that's just. If you have a problem with me saying that I hope the president does a great job, then you need to just rethink a lot of things about your decision-making skills. I'm sorry. And somebody told me last night about, I don't know what I posted, but they're like, you're not a patriot, you need to change your name, because I have patriot in my usernames on Instagram. I post on the Redneck Patriot on Instagram, and I post on Okie Patriot 76, and they're like, you need to change your username, you're not a real patriot. So, and that's what this QAnon stuff has done to these people. They think that if you go against Trump in any way, shape, or form, then you're not a patriot. And I'll just tell you, Trump is not the end all. I like Trump, and I support him, and I think that he did a great job on a lot of things. But the problem with the MAGA movement, this MAGA movement that happened the past 4 years, you couldn't criticize Trump on anything. And I totally understand being a small influencer on Instagram, and at one time I had a bigger audience. I totally understand. If you say one thing, you might lose like 1,000 followers. I totally understand that. And so a lot of these people just shut up and they just kind of stayed quiet until the day, I bet. But I don't know. But And I'm looking at pictures on Twitter. I'm glad that people didn't show up at their state capitals. But there's this one Trump supporter in New York showed up at the Capitol today. In New York. So, let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I mean, just the inauguration was boring. Let me see what this Q thing says. Oh, here's the latest thing from QAnon. The plan was enacted over the weekend, only you never saw it. Biden, his cabinet, and tons of Dems and Republican senators and other officials were arrested. Proof of their vast crimes was shown. They were in court and found guilty. However, it was decided that it was too much for the American people to accept. Overturning the election and showing the crimes of these politicians could lead to civil war. So an agreement was reached. Biden and the other deep state elements will be allowed to move freely and serve their term. President Trump would concede and leave office, but this is all for appearances. Behind the scenes, Donald J. Trump is still president. This plan is known as Shadow Prez, was seen as a last resort, but it worked. Anything that happened in the last 4 years is actually President Trump's doing. I'm sorry, anything that happens in the next 4 years is actually President Trump's doing. So I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is from the official QAnon, but this is something I saw on Twitter. People are making these satire Q posts. I don't know if it's real, but the point is that there's people out there still thinking that there's a plan, and I'm here to tell you that there's not a plan. The plan is over, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, Trump left a letter to Biden, and now Biden is saying that he can't talk about what's in the letter because it's a private conversation." And the cute people are like, "Well, maybe that's code." And like, why does everything have to be code? Like, they have to decode. I remember when this whole thing first started, all I saw on Instagram was people decoding Trump's tweets, and they were putting this letter to that letter. And it was just ridiculous. Like, do people actually believe that? And I give huge props to, what's his name, Educating Liberals. I don't know if you remember, but about 6 or 7 months ago, he left the QAnon movement, and he started going against the QAnon movement, saying that it's not a Christian movement, because it puts Trump as the savior. And I had huge respects for him. Now his live stream, like his Instagram is gone, and you can't find him anywhere on social media except Parler, and that's gone now too. But I was watching some of his live streams after he went out and basically turned on QAnon people, and he lost a lot of people. And the thing about it is, in that movement, if you say one thing, people just lose their minds. People are unsubscribing from the White House email list. They're unfollowing POTUS, unfollowing this person. I think that's stupid. I think you're an idiot if you do that. I'm sorry. I want to know what is happening with politics. I don't know. You can do whatever you want, but for me, I just feel like that's a very dumb decision, like a dumb thing to do. But like I said, these influencers, these QAnon influencers, huge respect to them for retaining an audience for 3 or 4 months here, telling people that, giving them false hope. And it's not it is absolutely ridiculous, because what these people were doing, they were saying that you need to get prepared, and you need to get food, and you need to get all this stuff, and some people out there can't afford to go buy this and that. And probably a lot of people went out and used credit cards and things like that. I didn't do that because I'm not an idiot. But, a lot of people out there, because people on YouTube and people on Instagram and people on social media was telling them that the world is going to end and all this kind of stuff, the storm is coming and all this kind of stuff, and they went out and bought generators and all this crap, like whatever. It's over. The Q movement died today. Rest in peace. That's one good thing about Trump not being in office. I don't have to hear about that crap anymore. And maybe the Republicans in Congress will actually step up. And I just saw a thing from Ted Cruz. He is denouncing the Paris Climate Accord. So maybe these Republicans will actually give a shit about censorship and like anything else that happens, instead of piddle-paddling around. And since they don't have Trump and they have Biden, maybe they'll actually do something. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. But a lot of memes that happened today. We had the Bernie Sanders good funny meme. Like, you can always rely on Bernie to get a good meme going on. But a lot of people are making fun of this lady. She's crying about Trump leaving office.
This is America. This is our land. Please, President Trump. Please, I hope you have a plan. God, please save us. Save us from the devil, please. Y'all, I'm about to have a panic attack. This is our country. Our country. This is awful. God, please save us, please. President Trump, if you see this, please save us.
So that's what happened to these QAnon supporters. They were fed false BS information, and now it finally hit them that there was never a plan, and these people on the internet was full of shit feeding them this information that and I'm sorry for the bad language. I'm just pissed at these people on the internet not being honest with their audience. You would think some of these people, their conscience would come out and intervene, and one of, like, you would think one of these days in the past 3 months they would say, you know what, I just can't do it anymore. And I always try to stay true to the facts, and I've done a lot of stuff wrong, and I made some mistakes, and I said some wrong things, but I always try to keep it real. And I've actually lost people. People turned on me, going against me because I went against this stuff. And I was listening to a podcast whenever I was doing the best of episodes for the last of 2020. I did those like the whole year into like 4 or 5 episodes. I can't remember. I couldn't even tell you when I said this in the podcast, but I said it in, I can't even remember, but I was editing the podcast, the one of the best of episodes, and I remember listening. I said, I just have a feeling Trump is not going to win. And so I've been right on a lot of stuff. And listening back to those podcasts made me feel good because I was paying attention. I was right. Now, I wanted to be wrong so bad today. I wanted these Q people to be right, and I wanted to be proven wrong today. Like, you don't know how bad. And like I said, it's a sad day for American history. I don't want Joe Biden as president. It's not like, I mean, nobody does. But everything is going to go back to normal. You have Amazon helping out with the vaccines now, which that's great. That's just what we need. Everything's going to go back to normal, and Biden is going to be deemed a hero. And so yeah, that's what's going to happen. And I'm already seeing, where is this at? Oh, this is in Seattle. People are burning American flags on the streets of Seattle for Biden's inauguration day. So even, these people are against Biden. Nobody likes Biden. People who vote, it's just stupid. And so, yeah, I did watch the inauguration today. I actually watched it on another person's stream. I watched a couple of YouTubers' streams. I didn't watch all of it. And also, I know they had a press conference today with the new press secretary. I caught a couple clips of it. I didn't watch it, but whatever. But I'll just end it on this. Joe Biden, I hope that you do what you're supposed to be doing, and I will pray for you to do a good job. And I don't care if I get flack for that. I don't really care. He is the president now, and I wouldn't say he's my president, but these people on the right are coming out and going, not my president. Okay, you can say that, you can believe that, but I don't like it. Like, I don't like saying that. But also liberals on the left, people on the left, they didn't like saying Trump was their president. So, but anyway, this happens every 4 years, and hopefully in 2024, we'll get somebody like Ted Cruz in, or maybe Trump will run again with the Patriot Party he's talking about. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But for now, we'll just have to go from here, and I'm going to keep on doing these podcasts the best I can, and yeah. Anyway, that's the end of that, and hope everybody has a great night and a great Thursday whenever you listen to this.